Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, please continue to pray for me by leaving a dislike on this video. Once again, I'm dealing with a resurgence of my eating disorders and sleep problems, although it's gotten better over the last 2-3 days. Now, we got to go back in time to remember how this all developed. It really all was catalyzed by something that happened last summer during a season that was about this, a lot hotter than this, actually. It was summer 2024, and it was really hot, and Taylor Swift was singing Cruel Summer over and over again. It was a very good description of how that summer felt. And I got a really bad case of long COVID, and I live in the United States. Here in the United States, people are very hostile to each other. You get anything wrong in this world, you're out. Right, so you can be on top of the world, doing really well at your work, and you could have a lot. You could have a lot going for you. But as soon as you get a long COVID, and you're stuck at home, and for example, where I ran into trouble was that I had to go out to get some water, among some other things. And when I got to the store, I don't even remember how I drove to the store, right? And somehow I made it there in one piece. And there was nowhere to sit down, and I sit at the mobility scooter, and the store security almost wanted to kick me out. And the only reason he didn't pick me up and drag me out of the store was when I apologized. I told him I'll make it quick. I'm just recovering from COVID. Ooh, COVID, right? Had I said, oh, I'll make it quick, I'm just recovering from having chemotherapy. It just literally got off a taxi coming back from the hospital. Oh, he could care less. Right. Had I said, oh, I hurt myself in the store, I twisted my ankle. Oh, he could care less about that. Right. And I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. My girlfriend just left me. In fact, she literally ran out the store. We were together. He could care less about that. Right. But because it was COVID, right, the only reason he didn't drag me out of the store. And it became such a soreness that I vowed that the next time I go through that, I don't want to be alone anymore. I want to have a teammate to go through that together. And so I didn't know where to begin, though. I didn't have any point to begin with. And you guys remember last winter, I offered my friend at church a reward, or anybody, a reward to set me up on my first blind date in ages. And my friend at church did it, and did it turn out to go anywhere? Not really. I mean, I still see her, and I did make a few friends through her. But more importantly, it became a floor for me to build on, right? Because you got to remember, I was so heartbroken that I messed up everything that I touched that summer. You got to remember that, right? Then my grandmother passed away, and I went to her funeral in Taiwan. And while in Taiwan, I met a girl there as well. And the problem is that none of these things teleport you from here to there, right? In between, there's a lot of ups and downs, right? One minute you're talking about the future together, the next minute you're ghosting each other, and everything in between, right? And the ups and downs and the uncertainty and the ups and downs and the just have really been weighing on me. And for the first time in 5 years, I find myself uh, uh, living a chaotic life, right? I got a mediocre performance review at work, right? I had been doing really well. What had happened was that I forgot the day of the observation. I teach at a community college every semester. My boss comes to observe one lecture, but I forgot the date of it until all of a sudden I get to the classroom and, oh, it's an observation. And I could have done better had I known better. But that's the kind of chaos that has ensued since I returned to the dating scene. Now, what would an ideal world look like? In an ideal world, we don't throw people out just because they got COVID during a heat wave. Okay? And then I wouldn't have to have done all of this, right? I would be happily married to myself and all that. Okay, I hate to have to be angry like that, but I had to throw it out there.